It's anybody who tunes in. So, everyone, this is Ryan. Ryan is pretty new to staff as well. We've been growing our team. Started the week after Thanksgiving. And Ryan, why don't you tell us a little bit about you, what you do here at the mission?
So I am fortunate enough to be here now, starting on my 4th week here at the Bread of Life mission. Couldn't be more happy and couldn't be more excited to be at a place that really, really tries to put God's mandate of how we share our love and how we care for other people, especially those in need and those on the margins. My job here is to help with the programming for our men's program. It's a program that tries to address some of the issues that maybe brought us to this place of being unhoused and on the streets, not just providing a meal and a roof over your head, but maybe try to address some of the brokenness that being on the streets amplifies, but also address some of the issues that got us there in the first place. Trying not just to address the physical needs, but the spiritual and the emotional needs as well.
Ryan, why don't you tell people a little bit about your background and why we hired you? You've got a great background in working with those who are homeless.
Yes. So what brought me here is not my strengths or the cool things I've been fortunate enough to be able to do, but it's my story as an alcoholic and how it hurt the people around me, it diminished me, and it brought me to a place where I had to throw up my hands and say, I can't do this anymore. And when I got to that point, and I turned my will over to a God greater than me and told the people in my life that I needed help, I received that help. I didn't receive judgment. I didn't have people shaming me. I had people reaching out their hands. And after about a year of walking in recovery, I realized it was the people in my life who were hands out. It was the people who didn't give up on me, the people who loved me when I was unlovable, that those are the people that I wanted to be like. And what they had was a spirit of helping others, that they used something that had been a negative in their life and turned it into a positive for really God's glory. And it led them on a path of sobriety and the type of life I admired and I wanted to be like. I wanted to be like those men and women who helped me. And it led to a path of becoming a case manager that has just kind of blossomed into this career of walking alongside people. And that's really what it is, walking alongside people and saying, there's a God who loves you, who sent his son Jesus Christ to die on a cross. And when you can share that message of hope and all that it means, you find that people are thirsty for that. And there's a lot of brokenness in this world, and to be able to say that you're not your past, you're not your addiction, you're not your mental health problem, that there is a God who loves you, and that there are chapters of your life still to be written, that is a very, very good way to make a living. And I'm very fortunate for the last 12 years to be able to do that.
Yeah. So tell me, what did you do before you were here?
Before I was here, I worked for a small nonprofit on the east side providing housing. And I worked on our case management team and also on our outreach team. And these were really cool experiences. I think the experience, though, that I draw upon the most was that I was fortunate enough to be a school teacher. And I love that job, and I love the idea that God uses our stories to come alongside others. And I get to teach in this new job here at the Bread of Life, but it's not my own experiences and wisdom. It's a wisdom that's greater than me. It's the collective hope that God's got a plan for us. And I'm surrounded by committed other people here who have similar stories and have other ways that they want to share with others. And kind of a convoluted, long way of saying I've gotten to do some cool things, but what I get to do here about not just sharing that addiction or mental illness or homelessness aren't problems, But the brokenness we have in our lives that separate us from God is perhaps the biggest problem. And if we can address those issues and all the things that come along with it, eventually the other things start falling into line. Not always quickly,
Right.
but they do if we're faithful to them. You start with the first things first.
That's great. One thing that a lot of people ask about, and that I'm going to just address here, is that we are a Christian nonprofit. We are a religious entity, but and it's more about why we do what we do. Our faith is really setting us on that path to help people, and we do share that faith in the program. But people say, well, do you force people to get saved, or do you force them to go to chapel, or do you make them listen to a sermon before they have a meal? And that's not the case at all.
Absolutely not the case at all. In fact, I think in a perfect world, and while I used overtly religious language, and we don't back down from that or hide it under a bushel to use more religious language, we lead with our actions.
Right.
And that's far more important than anything, because we live in a world that has a lot of brokenness in it. And the best way to shine a light on that brokenness is to be the opposite of that and have your actions live out your faith. That you don't even need to say anything about what you believe. You demonstrated in your actions. I would say that in the short time I've been at Bread of Life, it is a organization with very wide arms, and that there is a place for everybody here.
We have people of all faiths that are in the building. We don't force them to go to chapel.
Nope.
It's more about who we are, and who, just that we're proclaiming that. Most people who come into our door are really thirsty for something, because they're coming in broken.
Yeah, and I guess on some level we're all broken. It's just that some of us have found peace and contentment and an understanding in our brokenness that there is something bigger than us.
That's right.
And again, we want to share that message, but we also want to share it in a way where even if we didn't use the words, they would know in our actions about how we value our relationship with God by the way we treat others.
Right. Well, thank you, Ryan. I really
Thank you.
appreciate that.
Thank you.